that is on my ceiling. And they said, yep, I see Lucifer himself. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, wow. Okay, so then this is what kind of got me perturbed. They took 3 pictures out that I have of my church or around the altar. And they proceeded to circle shadows that's clearly being reflected off the crucifix, the reed table, and the flower table. And they said, "Yep, that's demons right there." Okay, all right, fine. You know, and I just let them. I never once I gave them permission to get any of my photos. They did it on their own. Okay, so I asked them. I was just curious, you know, what is their religious base, you know, and they told me it's a little bit of this and that. One of them told me that he's a demonolator. And his religion is basically like demonolatry. So I clearly asked him a question. I'm like, so you worship demons? He said, no, it's you can choose who you worship. I'm thinking, well, no, because clearly in the demonolators or the demonolatry handbook, which you can find. It says a demonolator is someone who practices demonolatry. But demonolatry is worship of demons and the control of demons, which we all know that we have no control of demons. You know, only God has control of demons. That's why whatever we do, whenever we do our religious rites to help these people, it's not the power of the person, it's the power of God working through that vessel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was getting a lot of stuff from these people. They even went as far as telling me that it's attached to my son. Yeah, that's when I really I had to bite my tongue. You know, sometimes I'm quick-tempered, but I bit my tongue and I just let them ramble. You know, and sometimes when you let people ramble, and I really learned this by interviewing clients. If you let them ramble, they'll tell you everything that you need to know. But at the end of it, you know, he said that he would get back with me and the next day and all the stuff. But clearly this person hasn't researched me yet. And then the next day he found out, he sent me some audio messages, and you can tell that the first 2 audio messages that he sent me was his exorcist, I think, so-called the mirror. Don't know what that is. But apparently I've got so many demons on me. You know, I am drained, you know, all the time. Oh, well, of course I'm drained. I got a wife. I got 4 kids. I got a full-time job, which I'm in the military, and I'm going to school for my bachelor's degree in religion, which I'm only 4 classes away. So, yes, I'm tired. I am beat, but that's not because of demons. So then he sent me two more messages, you know, audio messages of himself, and then you can tell he was stuttering. He didn't know what to say. I think my wife yelled at my kids. I'm sorry. But he went. You can tell that he couldn't. he couldn't, make his words together because he found out like who I was. He finally researched me, and he even went as far as saying, "I want to learn from you. I want to learn from you," and stuff like that. And you can tell that this person kind of had this deer in the headlights look, and was like, "Oh, I think we just got found out." So, yeah, he was kind of backtracking a lot. I kept on asking about demonology. He didn't know what the definitions were. But if you're proficient in that, wouldn't you know the definitions?
Yes.
So a lot of things just didn't add up to me.
Mm-mm.
Well, a lot didn't add up to me either. Whenever I was pointed out that this group was doing what they're doing, and the person that let me know, they asked my opinion. And honestly, I thought it was just somebody playing around. And
yes, when I first looked at it, it looked like some people was playing a joke, but these people serious. and then I asked him this question. I said, "Look, I don't know how you're getting this measurement of what to get paid. How can you measure a service of a field that's not even measurable? So you're trying to measure something that is impossible to measure. So this makes no sense to me." And plus I told him it's morally and ethically wrong too. I asked him, so let's say you have a client and they can't pay this outlandish fee of $5,000 or $10,000. Are you actually going to leave these people there to rot?
Right.
And he kind of stumbled on that one. Yeah. So morally and ethically, that is wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was. And you've been in the paranormal field a lot longer than me, Leon,
Mm-hmm.
and you also, Miss Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever cleansed a house or reconciled a demon or cast them out from a distance?
No.
Never. Mm-mm.
Never.
So you physically needed to be on location, if you will, in order to accomplish this, because God is ultimately the power that is removing this negative spirit, but He's using you as a vessel. Is that not right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So that was one of the big flags with me as a paranormal investigator. You can't. First off, you need to have where you can find out what you're dealing with. You can't just go in and say, okay, it's negative or whatever. We're just going to cleanse your house for $10,000.
Yeah.
Not happening. I mean, that's just stupid, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So it's how can they have the audacity? Well, I guess maybe some people would believe them because they've got that word paranormal investigator or paranormal team hung on themselves, and because of the way the paranormal field is now, the TV shows and the corruption that's gotten into the paranormal field, they're able to say, "Oh, well, I believe that they could." We pay them some money; they don't even have to come to the house; they can just, and that's ludicrous. I mean, that's just and
you know what? You brought up a good point. You brought up a really good point. Just because somebody claims to be a paranormal investigator or a paranormal team doesn't mean that they're qualified to be such. I know um, I know back in the 2000s, early 2000s, when Ghost Hunters first came on, that was a blessing and a curse. First of all, it was a blessing because you're actually seeing, what goes on with the paranormal investigation. You see, these people in this team helping other people, to understand what's going on, or like to help to cope or something, but it's a curse because after that, the paranormal field blew up to a big proportion to where you see people coming out of the woodwork saying, I'm a paranormal investigator. What people don't realize is that Jason and Grant from that show had many, many, many years in the paranormal field. So they learned all their trials and tribulations, just like Ed and Lorraine Warren, when they first came out. When they first got their start, it wasn't really to be demonologist. He was painting houses, so his wife can go in there, so Miss Lorraine can go in there and read the house, whatever, And then from there, they started building their knowledge up, and they didn't have anybody to physically teach them demonology. They had to learn it on the go. They had to learn through trials and tribulations what to do and what not to do. What people don't realize is that us nowadays, we learn from their mistakes. We learn from what they did right and what they did wrong. So you don't have this manual to say do this and do that. You actually have to have your foot in the door for a really long time to even be considered credible. See, me myself, I don't consider myself credible. I've only been doing this for 18 years. That's nowhere near as long as Dave Considine, or as Tony Sparrow, or Ralph Sarchie, or as long as Eddie Warren did it. Or as long as a Kenneth Steele has done this, or Keith Johnson, those people are the pioneers. We are just the people running off their coattails. But we learn from being in the field. So you can't take these people who just came in. I don't care if a team says collectively we have 20 years in paranormal research. Well, to me, you take 20 years and you divide it up. Let's say they have 6 people per 6 people in their team. That's not a lot of years at all. Right. So yeah, when somebody says collectively we got this many years, then you got to break that down by how many people is on that team, and then you will see right offhand how many years they don't have in.
Right. This field, you can never, ever, ever, ever stop learning.
No.
No, never.
No.
I also think it's not like a cookie cutter kind of thing. Every situation you go into is a little bit different. Yeah, the basic fundamentals are the same, but no two hauntings are alike.
No, right.
No, there's not one diagnosis for everything, because when you're dealing with that spiritual side, there's really no rules.
No.
And they pull out all the stops.
That's right.
So you can't just say one's going to be like the other and we're going to use this on every situation. Mm-hmm. You don't.
Yeah. You know what? We are lucky enough to have a psychologist on our team. And, I've been lucky enough to not have to deal with the possession yet. I pray I never have to. That is my prayer. I hope God allows me to stick with infestations and oppressions, and that is it. But I've been trained well enough to, if I do come up on a possession case, I know what I'm looking for. Months ago, it's been about 5-6 months ago, here in Tryon, Georgia, we had a case of a possible demonic possession, and I tell you, everything looked